COP17 kicked off in Durban today. 15,000 delegates from 195 countries will discuss actions that need to be taken to prevent runaway global climate change. President Jacob Zuma opened the negotiations and warned that in Africa, climate change is a matter of life and death. However, he was positive and said that with sound leadership, nothing is impossible in Durban. International Relations Minister Maite Nkoana Mashabane took over the COP presidency. She said that one of the key issues would be the fate of the Kyoto Protocol.
We need to show the world that parties are ready to address the problems in a practical manner. My approach will be to focus on methods of solving problems, and therefore I will need the assistance of all parties to work together to find solutions for the problems caused by climate change. The issue, therefore, at stake is what will we do now, in the present, or immediately, and what we need to do in the future. I am confident that all parties will make a special effort and show required leadership to creatively provide these assurances that can lead to consensus on all outstanding issues. It is only by working together that we can truly be able to save tomorrow today. I thank you.
Christiana Figueres, the Executive Secretary of the UNFCCC, said that greenhouse gas emissions have never been higher and that the need for action has never been more compelling. Figueres acknowledged the difficulties in coming to an agreement, but she quoted Nelson Mandela and said, "It always seems impossible until it is done."
To make the world climate safe and avoid climate change from spinning out of control, this meeting needs to take the next decisive steps in a global response to climate change. Finding a workable way forward in this complexity is clearly the defining issue of the Durban conference.
A coalition of NGOs, the Climate Action Network, reiterated the need for a legally binding agreement to come out of Durban. They also expressed concern about rumors that Canada might be pulling out of the Kyoto Protocol.
But clearly, Canada has already disrespected this process and the rest of the countries of the world by first not respecting its commitments that its parliament ratified for the first commitment period of Kyoto. Second, setting very weak targets for the year 2020. And third, this rumor that they may formally pull out of Kyoto. That's not what we need, a race to the bottom. We need a race of ambition to the top. So I think the real question here is can the European Union and others in the Kyoto process that want to stay in Kyoto and build on it reach an understanding with the key developing countries, the small island states, the LDCs and others, that produces a successful outcome at the end of next week for preservation of the legally binding regime that we've created. I think if they can, that will put tremendous pressure on the US, on Japan, on Russia and others to accept that mandate going forward and not wreck the train that we've been on.
The NGOs also called for developing countries to raise the $100 billion needed to help developing countries combat the effects of climate change. Negotiations will heat up over the next 2 weeks with presidents, prime ministers and other VIPs arriving in the last few days to seal the deal.